Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a couple of samples that I have. They're perfumes that I've been lusting over that I wanted to share with you, and also a little bit of chit chat about a little epiphany that I had, or a little lesson that I learned, because I basically brought back a fragrance into my collection that I previously decluttered and it was a complete mistake. So I wanted to share this with you guys, and I think it just is a testament to the fact that when we let something go, we let it go for a reason. And sometimes that reason is not very apparent to other people. Sometimes it seems a little bit unbelievable, or it seems like we change our minds, but you know what? We have every right to do that, and we let things go for a reason. So I have learned my lesson the hard way, to the tune of about $150 hard way, but I will share that with you in a moment. But before we get into today's video, if this is your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail. My name is Alithia, and on this channel we do talk mostly about fragrance. We also sometimes do a little bit of home decor, lifestyle, luxury goods, fashion, and things like that. If that is your thing, definitely make sure to head on down and hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so before we get started with the two perfumes that I'm currently sort of lusting after, I will share with you a lesson that I have learned, and also just this thought process that I wanted to share with you guys. I often get asked the question, do you ever regret your declutters? Or do you ever think there's a perfume you've decluttered that you'd like to bring back? Or sometimes people will just flat out say, you are going to regret this. They will actually tell me that I will regret what I'm doing. People have the nerve to do that, some people. So anyways, I wanted to share with you guys this little epiphany that I had. I had been watching a couple of influencers, YouTubers videos, and a lot of people still rave about La Vie Belle from Lancome. This is just a very popular perfume. It always has been since it came out, but it's still just as popular these days, I think, as in the beginning. It's just that some people are a little bit sick of it, a little bit tired of it, which is what happened to me. If you watch my channel, I used to have La Vie Belle, which is this one here sitting in front of me, and I wore it a lot for a few months, and I kind of got sick of it, like really, really quickly. I liked it, but I got very sick of it. I found it to be just a little too sweet, and almost a little headache inducing, and a little too cloying, and it's very, very strong as well. So you only need 1 or 2 sprays of this, and it lasts you all day, so it can very easily become an overwhelming fragrance. Basically, what I was doing was I was watching some perfume videos online, and a lot of people were still talking about this one, and it made me think to myself, why did I get rid of that? And I thought to myself, you know what? This could be the one I regret. I was like, maybe I regret getting rid of this one. Maybe I want to bring it back. I thought it's such a go-to. It's an easy grab and go. It smells really good. It gets compliments. Just kind of thought, you know what? This is a lifer. Maybe I should have it back. I was a little bit influenced by people's videos, and so I went out promptly and purchased a bottle. Not only did I get a bottle, I purchased the largest bottle that I could find at the store at the time, which was 75 milliliters, which cost me 154 Canadian dollars plus tax. And you guys, I wore it one evening and I immediately regretted my decision. So thankfully, the store that I purchased this from, I can return it. Even though it's open, I can return this, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. No, I don't really ever regret my declutters, and sometimes I think I regret my declutters, and I actually don't. I learned my lesson fairly quickly. If I ever go back and re-smell the fragrance, if I ever repurchase it, which has only happened to me a couple of times, it's happened with this one, it's happened with Elisable Parfum, and was there another one I repurchased? I don't think so. I think just this, Valentino Donna, the new version of Valentino Donna, which just has terrible lasting power. I love the way it smells, but it has terrible lasting power. Both of those ones I purchased, brought back, realized I should not have brought them back. And the same thing has happened with this one. So I just wanted to share with you guys that this has happened because it's good perfume chit chat. When I declutter something, there's a reason for it. And I do it for a reason, you know, and so I don't ever really regret my declutters. And this will be a lesson to myself, never to ignore my gut and keep something because people think I might regret it. Keep something because I'm influenced by other people or what other videos are saying. Keep something because other people like it, or go out and repurchase something. I will not do that anymore. So yeah, that's just a little bit of insight I wanted to share with you, a little bit of a perfume rant. La Vie Belle was gone for a reason and will not be coming back and will not be staying. I just can't do it. I like it. I really like it, but I find it a little bit too sweet. It just doesn't work for me. Gives me a bit of a headache. It's a little bit cloying to me. I much prefer the L'Oeuvre Belle Intense Mint, which is the raspberry vanilla version of this. I also prefer L'Oeuvre Belle Éclat, which is an orange blossom version of this. So yeah, goodbye L'Oeuvre Belle, and you shall not be coming back into my collection. Okay, so now to chat about one that I have been sort of lusting after, and this is one that I haven't owned before. This is a niche sample that I got from LuckyScent, and this is called Mazzolari Vaniglia. I've spoken about this one before. This is one that, even though I go through all of my samples and I discard a lot of samples, and by discard I mean I throw them in my do not want bin, and very few samples stay in my little crystal container that I have that holds all of my samples. But this is one that has stayed in that little crystal container because those are the ones I come back to and I check out every now and again. I rewear them, I resmell them, and I see if they're potentially something I would like to bring into my collection. And this is one of them. This is one that I keep coming back to. So this is Mazzolari Vaniglia, and this is a vanilla, caramel, and orchid fragrance. I'm not a huge fan of orchid all by itself, but something about the combination of the vanilla, the caramel, and the orchid in here is absolutely beautiful. It also has pretty good lasting power. It's mostly a sweet vanilla caramel fragrance, which is interesting because L'Oeuvre Belle is a sweet fragrance as well, but that's an example of one that just doesn't work for me. For some reason, this one is quite nice. I have it on my hand. This one is just the perfect combination of sweet and gourmand meets a pink floral. It's a beautiful pink floral, sweet gourmand fragrance, and I just really, really like it. It is a little bit on the pricier side. It's about $180 to $200 for, I think, a 30 ml bottle. That's the reason I haven't pulled the trigger on it, which is kind of silly because I pull the trigger on other more expensive things all the time in my life. But yeah, this is one that I continue to come back to. The other reason I think I haven't purchased it yet is because I have been trying to cull down my collection, and I just want to be very careful about what I bring into my collection these days. I don't want to go overboard. I don't want to blind buy. I don't want to buy like 5 or 6 fragrances at a time like I used to do in 2020. So I'm kind of just being very careful, but this one is definitely one that I'm thinking about. It's beautiful, good lasting power, very sweet, very sexy, very feminine, and I think that it's worth checking out. So you can get samples, you guys, from all kinds of websites. I'll put some links down below if you guys are interested as to where I get my samples from. But yeah, that is the first one, Mazzolari Vaniglia. The second one that I've been lusting after a little bit, and it's kind of along the same lines as the first one, this is Indult Tihota. Now, I always get this backwards. Is it Indult by Tihota or is it Tihota by Indult? It is Tihota by Indult. Okay, so this is a brand I haven't really heard of much before, obviously. So Indult is the brand and Tihota is the name of the perfume. So this is a musky vanilla fragrance. Literally the only 2 notes that they have listed in here is musk and vanilla, but when I tell you, it is one of the most beautiful, smooth, delicious, feminine, musky vanillas I've ever smelled. I am not kidding. So I had actually a subscriber send me this little sample. So I have worn this twice on my skin, and you guys, it's so beautiful. It has really good lasting power. It's just the perfect musky vanilla fragrance. If you look on Fragrantica, some people compare this to a much more affordable fragrance, which is Vanilla Bean Noel from Bath & Body Works. Now that I've seen that, I can't unsee it, and it kind of does remind me of Vanilla Bean Noel. I have a teeny tiny amount on my forearm here, and it kind of does smell a little bit like Vanilla Bean Noel. That being said, I have had Vanilla Bean Noel in lotion form and body spray form, and I still prefer this. So obviously this smells a little bit more refined, more expensive, more elegant. I just saw as well on Fragrantica that the nose behind this one is also Francis Kurkdjian. So if that means anything to you, I guess that explains partially why it is so beautiful. It's really beautiful. If you like vanilla, this is a must smell. Same thing with the Mazzolari Vaniglia. If you like vanilla, both of these fragrances are definitely must smells. And this one I'm heavily considering. Like, the thing is, like I said, I don't need to bring any more perfumes into my collection. I already have too many. But they're both really beautiful. Between this one and the Mazzolari Vaniglia, I would say the Mazzolari is sweeter. and this one is muskier. So if you want something that's more sweet vanilla, really like truthfully candy sweet, I would go with the Mazzolari. If you want something a little bit muskier and not so caramel, I would go with the Indult Tihota. So yeah, those are the two fragrances that I've kind of been testing out lately and sort of lusting after. I do have one other one coming, a full bottle of a fragrance coming. I'm very excited. It should be here hopefully in the next week or two. It's coming from the States. I ordered it directly from the house. Very excited to share that one with you guys. But in the meantime, here is a little bit of perfume chit chat. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. So that was it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on these fragrances, and please let me know your thoughts down below. I'm looking forward to chit-chatting with you in the comment section, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye for now.